Good morning, Period 4. I'm Kelly Dillard.
And I'm Conan O'Brien. Welcome to Channel 8 News.
As you all know, the previous weeks have been filled with political debates. In just a few days, it will be our duty as a class to vote on whom we think is best fit for our nation.
Next couple of minutes, we will recap all of the week's debates. On November 29th, the death penalty was hotly debated. Due to the lack of audience video, we will recap the debate. The death penalty proponents focused on the financial aspect, while the opponents argued that there are more effective alternates. Abby Brandon and Mihir suggested that society should consider whether or not the death penalty is the best solution. In the debate, they claimed that society should increase education to help lower crime rate as well as provide mental health services. They noted that while several other places abolished the death penalty, we continue to use it to obtain justice. However, Mihir said that victims do not feel any sense of justice when the death penalty is carried out. While the proponents insisted that providing housing long-term is expensive and results in overcrowding, the opponents suggest that it costs even more for appeals, lawyers, and court dates. In order to appeal to voters, Abby informed the other side that killers should feel a sense of guilt as well as work off their crimes by doing community service and remaining in jail. Overall, they believe the death penalty should not be carried out and the punishment lies within the jail. Now we're to Kelly with the opposing side of the death penalty.
On the flip side, for the death penalty, they felt that it should be involved when it comes to certain cases. Specific actions should have different consequences compared to other crimes. Tanya, Nick, and Tad stated that the U.S. has a higher crime rate than any other country. If the person deserves to die because of their actions, then so be it. The prisons where the death row victims are staying are spending way too much money housing them, and instead the money should be going to other things, like education. If people continuously are kept in the jail, the populations will continue to rise. If a person is in jail, they get free healthcare, free food, which is seen as yet another debt to California citizens. By continuing the death penalty, there will be less crime, as the use of it as a threat would stop most in their tracks.
On to the topic of the legalization of marijuana. Many argue that the use of marijuana is one's own choice and should be legal. However, Elise, Layla, Taylor, and Arlie thought otherwise. They claim studies have shown that in other countries where marijuana is illegal, the countries saw the use go up dramatically. Because of this dramatic increase in usage, the side against the legalization is afraid that the same would happen with the U.S. When we already have alcohol and cigarettes legal, why should we add to the fire, said Layla. The group states these are already bad for our society and that marijuana will increase the amount of heart attacks, depression, lung cancer, as well as suppressing one's immune system. Now over to Kelly.
However, Michael and Blair felt otherwise on this issue. They are supporting to legalize marijuana because, as they feel, it should be a legal substance and become another personal choice just like smoking and drinking. If marijuana were to become legal, it would still be a personal choice and would continue to have no effects on those who don't use it. Alcohol and cigarettes are legal right now, even with the health problems they cause, so why is it not the same for marijuana? The benefits from taxing marijuana would also benefit our deficit, helping even those who don't choose to smoke. It would also be much safer for the customers once it is regulated by the government than buying it from the streets, like many do now.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Don't need money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train.
You know, Carissa, people who vote in the election sure are happy. How happy are they, Kelly? Happier than Spencer going to the gym.
For our next two topics, we are lucky enough to have video from an audience member from the debates.
We apologize for the bad video quality, but the audio is the most important piece. First will be the clips from the gay marriage debate, then clips from the abortion debate will follow.
Has the right to get married. I mean, it shouldn't be based on, like, gender, you know? We believe that it's a human right for anyone to get married, and if anyone who isn't allowed to get married, that's just disrespectful. It's cruel. Because you're isolating them to be some sort of weird, strange thing, while women not. Okay, thank you.
So according to separation of religion and state, the government does not have the right to say whether or not gay marriage is legal or not legal, and they actually don't even have the right to say if heterosexual marriage is legal or right, legitimate or not. Therefore, all they are able to say is if they were allowed to award government benefits to these couples.
You feel justified treating homosexuals differently than heterosexuals, purely based on their sexual orientation?
Well, it's on a government standpoint, they're not treating them differently. Well, they're not treating them differently based on the person, but rather on their situation. And for heterosexual families, they need government benefits because oftentimes one person will need to stay at home taking care of a child, whereas another person will be outside working. Therefore, that means that they'll be able to make less money, and so that's why the government even, takes the effort to recognize such thing as marriages. I mean, people are not married through the government in the beginning. People were always just married through the church. And then later, the government decided to start giving benefits, and that's where the whole legalizing marriage came into play.
So, we're on the side of pro-choice. We believe that it's a woman's choice to be able to control her body, and that government really has no right to interfere with that, and that it's
believe that killing is wrong, and that if you kill your child before it is born, even if it is not completely grown up and everything, it is still killing, and it should be treated like any other murder.
Alright.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Yes.
You know, Kelly, people who vote in the election are really happy.
How happy are they?
Happier than Mr. Clark on Monday.
What are your strong points you think will help you win the election?
I think my qualifications, and I have some good stands on the topics. I hope that'll help me win the election.
Okay. What special interest groups would you like to see pass?
I would like to see keep marijuana illegal. I would like to see the death penalty pass, then against gay marriage. What's the last one? Abortion. I'm pro-life.
Out of one of those four, which one is like the strongest one you want to pass, or the one you really want to pass?
Probably a tie between keep marijuana illegal and the death penalty.
Why?
Just because I feel strongly about those issues.
Okay, and then is there anything else you want to discuss further that you didn't get to say in the debate today?
I got to say a lot during the debate, so not really.
What do you think will help you win this election?
The fact that I have a more open mind, and that I embrace change, and I've accepted the fact that things have changed over the years, and that I think that traditional laws shouldn't automatically still be in play, especially considering how much things have changed.
Okay, and then do you have anything else you want to discuss further that you didn't get to say in the debate today?
Not at this time.
And then what is one of the special interest groups that you are really behind for passing?
I am all for gay marriage. I feel like it is wrong that we haven't passed that yet. They're discriminating, it's plain and simple. So that is something, me having several gay friends, I would love to see gay marriage passed.
And that concludes our interview.